How did Uruguayans feel after the Suarez handball against Ghana?
Oh, it was a savior. Like there was no. The thing is, okay, Tabarez in 2014 had a really into the manager, Oscar Tabarez. He
Yep.
mentioned once, he's like, listen, this is the World Cup of football, not cheap morality. And I thought that was really interesting because Ghana, up to that point, if we're talking like morality in soccer, I thought they like,
It's a slippery
they
slope.
crossed the line. It is like the thing is I think like let's just talk bro code here, right? I think they crossed like this sort of unwritten bro code rule in football like 7 times against USA and against Uruguay, and then to complain about the handball was like, all right, man, listen, like So I'll give you an example, like Ghana against the United States. I think I've never seen a team literally waste 30 minutes of the entire overtime by on the floor. No, it was insane. I think they played like 40 seconds of that overtime. Like Ghana scored, and that's the end of the game. We're just falling, rolling around, and the
I can
Americans
tell
were
you're not an
furious.
Atletico Madrid game fan because that's what we do like every single game. But
No, but here's the thing: in South America, that's like go-to. Like if you're winning, it's 2-1 with 30 minutes to go. Like man, you're killing the game off. You're not even playing anymore, right? Like there's like yeah, the substitution sign's broken, guys. Like anything, our goalie has heart problems. Like whatever, they do anything to slow the game down. The thing is about Ghana though is that Ghana was I thought extremely violent against the USA because I saw the game against the US and against Uruguay. Like they injured like 3 players. Like one player broke his leg against Ghana. So the thing is, okay, the play where Suarez gets the handball. There's a blatant dive by Dominic Adia. It's incredible that it was called. So it's like literally 4 meters away. The linesman's right here. He looks like he's making a run. He falls to the floor. Like no, he wasn't even close to him. This player called Fuchile, Jorge Fuchile. They get a free kick off a blatant dive. I'm like, that's cheating. So the Suarez thing was like, listen, man, like it was like all right. It was almost like like fouling a player when before he's about to score. Like fine, I'll take the penalty. He happened to do it with his hands. That's the thing, right? So
yeah,
as I said before, like he like listen, it's much worse to try to injure a guy in that sense. Ghana got the free kick. I don't know if this matters, but it's like proven that 2 of the players, if there was VAR, they were offside. Massive off. 2 Ghanaian players were offside in that play. If you another play, there's a free kick. The guy heads it back, and that's when all the chaos happens. That happens a lot. The
yeah,
first post just heads it back. Every time it
yeah,
happens, like
yeah,
even when I saw it, I was like, oh man, like it's like
yeah,
oh god, it's not ending well.
yeah.
And at that point, that's when 2 offsides happened. So honestly, it was just for Uruguay, it was just like Crimea River. Like honestly, like you guys try to get advantage. It didn't work for you. We tried a play that was like 2% success rate, and that worked. I get why you're bitter, but honestly, like there's no apology on this side. Both sides were kind of playing the same game, so that's usually the view, by the way, in case you're wondering about how the
Yeah.
Uruguayans feel. And
I
also, being
figured
like
most didn't care, but
no, no. Everyone thought it was everyone thought it was like an act of sacrifice. Actually, that's really they actually saw it like as a super positive thing. Like he threw away the quarterfinal. Like he didn't care. That's the thing. And I was not surprised by the way. Like when it happened and he was like a red card. I'm like, oh, it's Suarez, right? Like I actually thought it's got to be Suarez because I already knew he was kind of eccentric at the time, Suarez, even as a young player. But no, no, there was. In fact, it's like an extremely celebrated moment. It's considered like one of the most. Like I've never felt like this experience of death to absolute revival in a split second. Like I've never felt that before. I ever since in football or before. So that moment when Gian misses, it was like, man, wow. It was like almost like we won the World Cup. It was huge, huge, huge. So it's literally one of the biggest moments of my footballing life, to be honest. Yeah, easily.
I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for Ghana in that match. I love Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorite players. Like very niche player, I know, but I was devastated when he missed that penalty, man.
Well, the thing is, at the time though, like I remember because I was living in Australia, and I remember even the Australians noticed that the BBC and the rest of the world media, it was like, okay, the 5 Africans got eliminated. There's a six left. They went all in into Ghana. So Ghana became kind of this sort of like Cinderella story. Well, funny enough, when I was watching the groups, I thought they were like. I don't know. They were interesting. They were a very good team. I remember thinking they were the real deal when they
Very
only
good.
lost 1-0 to Germany. So they were a really good team. Probably one of the best bats for Africa, except for Morocco recently, right in the last few
Yeah.
decades. So, but the thing is, in South America, though, it was complete. Actually, you know what? I noticed it was the complete opposite in South America and the other world champion countries, except Germany and England, of course. So, Italy and Spain, they were celebrating in the streets when Uruguay beat Ghana. It was huge. Brazil, it was huge. It was like because there's a different relationship. They for them, it was like. I don't know. It was incredible that Uruguay was going to reach the semifinals. It was like imagine if a historic team like the Red Sox have not been in the World Series in like 90 years, and then they beat what honestly, the rest of South America saw Ghana as like flash in the pan. It was like the Tampa Bay the Devil Rays, whatever. They just showed up a few years ago. So there was such a different feeling. Like, it felt like historic, like to the history of soccer that Uruguay won. So the narrative was so split. Like BBC was acting like, oh, Uruguay's coming here to ruin the script. Well, South America, Spain, and Italy, it was like, no, totally different story. It was like, oh my God, Uruguay's about to go back into the top four. Very, very different. And like I said, if you follow the news, oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm not surprised they were so upset because, like I said, they put everything into Ghana. You know, I'll tell you something funny. Watch the national anthems. Uruguay, Ghana, put it on. Or actually, I mean, a minute before that, I'm not joking. It's literally like 9 African delegates, Joseph Blatter in between them. I remember laughing out loud live. Like, dude, can you make this more obvious? Like, it's like, no, we got it, guys. You guys are going to be in. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. Like, oh my God. So it was just, I'm just saying, man, like everything was against. So the fact that they were trying to pull Ghana as like this underdog was hilarious to me. It was like making Apollo Creed, like, oh, can Apollo beat up this evil Rocky? It's like, no, man, it's the opposite, man. Like, dude, these guys were bigger than Uruguay, almost on a player-by-player basis. Like, Uruguay was heavily the underdog that match. So anyways, like I said, it's a very different narrative. And I think if you talk to South Americans, actually, I think it's the most neutrally celebrated moment in the last like 50 years of South America. Like in Argentina, when they won the World Cup, a bit of when Uruguay won through, there's videos in Colombia, universities losing their minds. Like, yeah, it was huge. It was massive.